the AYB TV netcast. This is fantastic, and I'm so excited again. I've got Mr. Mwansa with me. Many of you now know him. I'll still, as a matter of protocol, ask him to introduce himself. Today's program is the review of Zambia is Truly Ready for Business conference, which we had on the 31st of March 2012. Mr. Mwansa, introduce yourself to the audience.
Well, my name is Mwansa from Wolverhampton, an entrepreneur, really interested in clusterization as a concept and as a way of pulling the resources together in smaller numbers.
That introduction is powerful. Clusterization is the way. Now, Mr. Mwansa, I want us to tell the viewers the importance of what we experienced on the 31st of March 2012. And this is when we received His Excellency Lieutenant Colonel Bizwan Kulinka and Mrs. Nkulinkwa, and we also came with the diplomatic party. Mr. Mwansa, in terms of the impact regarding receiving His Excellency, how do you put that into context?
Well, first of all, it was an honor for him to come and be part of the proceedings. Mm-hmm. The other aspect really is that what we did was valued.
Yes.
Otherwise, he wouldn't have come.
Yes.
And also came with the economic counselor,
yes, who
acquitted herself very well regarding opportunities in Zambia.
Indeed. You just mentioned that he valued being amongst us because he came out. Yes. And I just want to show the viewers what actually is said in a clip as it comes on.
Dr. Lukomona, representatives of the Commonwealth Business Council, the chief executives here present, friends of Zambia, the young and future of Zambia, ladies and gentlemen, I feel very encouraged to be here with you to make a contribution to your very useful interactions that you have organized. And this is one thing I'm learning from England, right from the word go, that people here are very well organized. At home, we have a tendency to do things haphazardly, to do things alone. This one is mine, this one is mine. As a result, we do not share knowledge very well. We do not share experiences very well. So I'm grateful that I am invited here to be part of this networking. And this is in the spirit of establishing a knowledgeable Zambia, which is what our president, Mr. Michael Sata, wants. Amaka ya Bwingi, the network you have organized is an example of unity and selflessness. And I want to commend you, especially that you are a practical organization which is contributing to Zambia's socio-economic development through your various activities in agriculture, real estate, training, development, investments, as well as charitable causes. And it is because of this that when you gave me the invitation and I came across a friend of Zambia who is a Briton, I begged that he joins this group of interaction so that he too can come and expose his activities in Zambia, which are in line with what you are doing today?
Now, Mr. Mansa, people tend to weigh matters. Should I go to a meeting or not? What do you think are the advantages we gained by having His Excellency coming on the platform of Amaka Bwingi and the business community? What advantages is there? Because you know, historically, we've been working with the ambassadors that have been before him. But what advantage is it to us for His Excellency to come to this meeting?
Well, first of all, he is the representative of the government of the Republic of Zambia. So that is important. Secondly, I think it opens doors, really, to his office. If one wanted to pursue aspects that require government assistance, and many programs do require government assistance or guidance.
Etc.
So it's very, very important. Having met him, it's easier to pick up a phone and phone him or his counselor.
That's right.
Because these are people that we've met, so you would know, and they would also know who it is. So it won't be like you're talking to a faceless, person whom you don't know.
So basically, that brings a continued impact of the relationship between the community of Zambians and friends in business and the embassy. So
Yes.
it is a very good thing. Now, I want us to look at several aspects, which I'll tell the viewers. This comes to you what are the challenges? And I want us to talk about this in terms of the positive side of things when you have a continuous relationship between the custodians of Zambian economy and the information and governance. They come into your community, they say, friendship continues. Now, what does it mean to you? I'd like us to discuss this, Mr. Mwansa, in terms of that, what are the positive impacts and what can be the challenges when we have that kind of continuous relationship?
Well, in terms of the positive impact, is the reception that one gets, that regarding business, the government, through the ambassador, welcomes investment.
That's right.
That, I think, came out very clearly from him.
Yes.
But also it provided an opportunity. You'll recall when we had an open session, question and answer,
Yeah.
there were concerns because of the Barotsi issue,
Yes.
and that might affect investment. And that question was posed to him, and he was quite candid in terms of his answer that yes, there may be some disquiet and some reticence.
I think that is the context in which you are asking. I can assure you Zambia will still be there. It will not break up. And as government, we will engage those people. We will talk to them. We will talk to them. There will be no fighting. There will be no cessation. It will end.
Thanks. Now, in terms of Zambians and friends of Zambians who came and posed their businesses, in terms of the impacts of getting networking, what can we say about networking itself, its importance? What do we see there? Because I saw different businesses. There was construction there, there was training there, there was the medical industry there, almost all corners. You can mention agriculture was there, yourself here in agriculture and others. So let's talk about that.
I think first of all, the other time we talked about the issue of networking, and I would like to emphasize the aspect of cross-fertilization.
Cross-fertilization. Now, in simple terms, I like that's cross-fertilization. In simple terms, because there are businessmen and women out there who may not understand cross-fertilization. How can you explain that one in simple terms?
Well, let me give you an example. Coming to that meeting, I came there as a presenter, yes, but others who were presenting, I was very interested and really encouraged by what they were doing. I didn't know, for instance, there were, Mrs. Msanya, and her, the topsoil. Because when you just hear about that, you think it's something agricultural.
That's right.
You know, and it is actually computing.
Because the name she used, the top soil.
That's right.
I was expecting agriculture.
Absolutely.
And I heard IT, I said, wow, that's fantastic.
Yes.
And I think for the sake of the viewers, before you continue, let them see the clip of the top soil, what she said. Just a few seconds. Now continue.
Yes.
Yes, I am the top soil. I am the top soil entrepreneur. Now, the business is based in Katongo in Lusaka, the capital city of Zambia, formerly known as LinkNet, Internet Cafe. Of the nature and where we are going, because we are improving in the world. So internet is one of them, and all the companies, most of them want CVs, internet skills. So those who are in a poor background are not able to have all those access. So the top soil came up so that we can try to...
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yes, Deirdre, the lady that does structuring of finance.
That's 1863 Limited. That's,
yes.
Yes, indeed.
It's important because most of the ventures, really without finance, it doesn't matter. You may have a very good business plan, but it has to be underpinned with finance in order for it to go. And to have one or two people who are experts in structuring
That's right.
finances,
Yes.
it's very encouraging because you know when you have something, you just pick up a phone, arrange a meeting, go and share with them,
That's right.
and they will advise you where to look for
That's
that
right.
finance and how to structure it.
Yes. For the sake of the viewers, we're going to see lots of clips there, and it's also good to know that this DVD is available for purchase. This part 1 and part 2 for the whole program. But if I want to listen to 1863 Limited on what they do, because Mr. Mansa has referred to that, is a great opportunity.
Honoured and humbled, I feel, to be a part of this gathering today, and I too have met some phenomenal people here today and made some amazing connections. 1863 Limited is a legal investment and business consultancy. We're international in our outlook and our approach. Our divisions are legal, tax mitigation, wealth management, investment, and project finance.
Now, for 1863 Limited, they talk about huge budgets. I saw on a profile, £75 million.
Yes.
That's a lot of money to match a funder, an investor to a project and be able to structure and source finance. That's very good. So on the platform of Amaka Bwingi, these are the things that you can learn. Networking is fundamentally important because of what you find there, the information you gather there, the executives you meet there. You have a relationship because of the nature of the environment you've met here. You don't have to do due diligence. If you meet somebody or make an application officially, you've got to go through a due diligence. And that, Mr. Mansa, is a lengthy process, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
But if you meet on a platform like this, it's like there's already a cross-fertilization. That's your term.
Yes.
Fantastic. Now, let's talk about economic facilitation through the custodians, because it was a meeting where we were receiving His Excellency to be introduced to the business community. And you alluded to the fact that because he came, therefore there's a relationship. Now, in terms of business in Zambia, as we know that next week, 17th of April, Professor Luo is coming, Honorable Luo is coming. Now, what advantage is that to us for the network that we are involved in when we have His Excellency on the platform? What do you think?
Well, first of all, he will recognize when a meeting like that comes. I think you just pick up a phone or write and say, Dr. Lukomona, can you arrange to have yourself come or some representative here's the meeting, because there's rapport already.
That's right. Yes.
So that is an important aspect. And if there are any other issues to raise, I think one would feel free.
That's
because he presented himself as open
Yes.
and willing to listen
Yes.
and be able to take any suggestions,
Yes.
constructively,
Yes.
and pass them on to the powers that be
That's
who
right.
deal with those aspects.
Yes, and this is very important for Zambians. And I'm glad to say that we had CMM Mulenga Property Consultants Limited, all the way from Zambia, flying into Zambia.
Yes.
I want us to discuss that, how important that.
Your Excellency, Colonel Kunika, Mrs. Kunika, shall I simply say, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really delighted to be here. I have to talk very quickly. I've come all the way from Zambia. I can't afford to stray. Zambia is really, truly ready for business. CMM Property Consultants is a consultancy firm that I formed in 1985 when I was 26 years old. The services offered by my firm, so beside property valuations, that's assessing of landed property, plant and machinery, chattels and everything. We also do now estate agency. We help people to buy property, to sell property. In fact, we represent quite a number in the diaspora here.
And the beauty of it is that there was a synergy between some of the companies here in England that have got access to cheaper finance,
Yes.
and with the theme of the property construction.
Absolutely.
So that is very positive.
Yes.
Now, if he did not fly into this meeting, that link with those companies wouldn't have happened.
No.
And this is one important part that we have to emphasize to people. If you want your business to move forward, do not shun networking meetings. And this is going to another level, as we can see already, because there will be somebody. So when,
Yes,
is it Dr. Oloke from PCC?
Yes. Yes.
When he began talking about what sort of projects they're doing,
Yes.
how did you feel there?
Well, first of all, I didn't expect that he would be there, or somebody to talk about, these big projects that they're doing, in Angola, in Nigeria, and so on. Best here.
To be given the opportunity to introduce our company, Progressive Concept Consultants Limited, a lot of feasibility studies as well. Financing, which we find is becoming a very important and critical area in Africa, and the implementation of those kind of projects. Not to bore you, that's the sort of organizational structure we work from. Very, very integrated in terms of our associates that the same university also involved us with another consultant on the HDTI project. These were completed a couple of years ago.
Best here. So that one sees that you don't have to be afraid of the size.
Yes.
There are people out there with the know-how and expertise to assist and to structure whatever deal that you want.
Yes.
Honestly, it's very important for chief executive to rub shoulders with the ambassador and also the people whom he works with.
And you panic and you say, no, those are not for us, that's for the big multinationals. ZDA accepts proposals, project proposals, and then they can matchmake you with other investors that probably have more finances than you. All you have to do is to make yourself. So first, in the infrastructure sector, there's the Lusaka South Multi-Facility Economics. This one cuts across 2,100 hectares, so you don't need to worry about land.
And also, the way they presented all the situation in Zambia to people, it was very important because most of us, we read this information from the papers, but when we are interacting, there is a very big difference.
Now, in closing, we were propagating, and I made that speech myself, the formation of Zambia Diaspora Chambers of Commerce, and I believe it's one way forward for businesses. And the reason for this is highlighted in my speech, and the reason for this is actually bring the business community to another level. Now, first level, I believe it's going to be information acquisition, because there's certain information that we who live abroad cannot find in the mainstream database.
We need to be thinking strategically as well.
Yes.
Why is it that other people are there thinking 10, 20, 30 years?
Think generationally. This is why Amaka Bwingi, we talk about 250 years. We've done 6 years away from 205, so we remain 243 years more. It sounds big, but actually this is good context because you'll be referred to each Kolwe. We live in European countries. When you visit some museum or company, you find that this was formed 1498. So what? 1892, 1900 is still going on because they think big time, so many years ahead, not 5 years. 5 years is a dream. You wake up, oh, right? You want a vision that can save generations. That's why 250 years is nothing in the context of eternity. So Zambians, let's start thinking in terms of many years. Start planning in 20 years. See where your children will come and take over. See where their children's children will come and take over. Plan for them. We read about lots of historians in business, what they did and the kind of wills they've left. They were thinking ahead. Even for those that believe that Zambia is a Christian nation, and I like to talk about Abraham when God was blessing him. What did he say? He was only one that time, but he was many years later. So I encourage you, as Mr. Mansa said, let's think ahead and let's form clusters. Clusters, leverage. If you need £20,000 and you go it alone, if you make a loss of £20,000, it will be on you alone. But £20,000 as a group, you can leverage. You can handle it because you is only 100, the other person, it feels lighter. But the good news is that investment does work. So we say, be an investor and buy back Zambia. We are changing that non-investor status to investor status. And I can tell you now, many people are beginning to invest from our communities. Thank you very much for listening. And I'll see you on the 2nd of June, 2012 in Birmingham. On the website, adverts will appear very soon. Only 50 positions are available. And I also expect many of you to travel with us to Zambia, 22nd of October this year. And 8th of November, Zambian businesses are flying into the UK for a cultural exchange visit. Thank you very much.